Hey there, esports fans, and welcome back to another episode of College Esports Now. I'm your co-host, Katie Scott, and for today's episode, we are recording live in the ESTV Esports TV studio in Los Angeles. We are so excited to present to you the latest and the greatest esports news and highlights from our partner conferences in college esports. Let's go over to my co-host, Polly Hype, who will be going through this week's highlights. Handing it over to you, Polly.
Thank you so much, Katie. I'm Paulie Hype, and I'm here with the ECAC Week 5 Collegiate Esports Landscape Breakdown. Let's get into some Super Smash Bros. Action from ECAC Week 5, Dallas Baptist University versus Juanita College. Juanita College came out ready to play for this match, immediately showing that playing into the mismatch of Wii Fit Trainer versus Ridley would go down in their favor with the pure speed and agility of Wii Fit Trainer. Game 1 went by in a breeze with 5 stocks taken by Hops on Wii Fit and 4 by Hollow on Ridley. Game 2, however, looked to be going in favor of Dallas Baptist, with them starting off strong with Conk on Joker, taking 4 stocks, but Hollow's Ridley was no match for DBU, taking 6 stocks, finally falling to the Mirror Ridley. Mini XO, also on Ridley, was left with the monumental task to not only win the Ridley Mirror matchup, but also take down the player that no one had seen in Game 1, Fry and his Mewtwo pick. Though a very close set of stocks, Fry was able to secure the game and the series for Juanita College. Coming up next is St. John's University versus Benedictine University. What do you get when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? You get 2 undefeated juggernauts. St. John's and Benedictine University meeting in Week 5 of the ECAC. Despite the 2-0 scoreline, both games went down to the last stocks on the last players, leading off to an insanely tense standoff. In Game 1, Alola Mola took his Joker to take out Gamma Steve that was proving to be a threat to St. John's. The final battle of Game 2 saw Alola Mola come back as the anchor to face Monum in a Sephiroth mirror match that left viewers awestruck. Both teams performed to the best of their abilities, but only one squad could remain undefeated. That team would be St. John's University. Coming up next is Rainbow Six with Wayne State College versus SUNY Canton. Both teams entered 3-1 on the season, but only one was able to be victorious in this matchup. The match started as even as any could imagine, with Wayne State scraping by to get a 4-2 lead at the half. By taking the next round, it left SUNY Canton with the comeback challenge, and they took it, bringing it back to a 5-4 game, but that was all they can get, leaving Wayne State winning 7-4 on Map 1. Heading into Map 2, everything felt very much like the last, heading into the half with Wayne State up 4-2, but this time they weren't going to give Canton a chance to come back at all, ending the game at 7-3 and the 2-0 for Wayne State College. Coming up next is Valorant, Missouri Baptist University versus Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. Both teams went into this match at a 3-1 scoreline, and both MBU and RPI went to war on map number 1. MBU had an early lead on Haven, but Rensselaer swung back at their enemies, making the game go to triple overtime. Sadly, it wasn't enough as MBU took Haven 16-14. Over to map number 2 on Ascent did knock it off to a great start for RPI as MBU's Trevi gets a 4K on the opening round. Moses and RPI tried to hold off the war as long as possible, but it ended up as 13-5 win in favor of MBU. Next up for Valorant is Muskingum University versus St. Francis University. ECAC and Chambers being the top frag, can you even name a more iconic duo? Mako and St. Francis came out swinging against Muskingum, but only losing 5 rounds on each map. Mako was consistently getting 20+ kills on both Icebox and Pearl. Not to say that the rest of the SFU squad weren't doing anything. Each member had 10+ kills on each map as well, a total team effort. When you hear the tour de force come out from his chamber, I would definitely be wary when Mako's trying to peek some corners. Next up is Overwatch 2. Army West Point Esports versus University of South Carolina Sumter. You simply could not imagine a better comeback story to be written for a team, but in the match between Army West Point and USC Sumter, Army West Point proved that miracles can happen and you never stop fighting until the match is over. Down 1-2, Army West Point were on the brink of falling to USC Sumter, who opened up with a strong performance led by their tank, Patient. They weren't done yet. Overtime on Esperanza, Army West Point managed to take the payload the entire length of the push map and win in an exciting 4-minute overtime. And with that, push themselves to map 5, take the momentum, allowing them to stand above the rest and take down USC Sumter in a nail-biting reverse sweep. Next up in Overwatch 2 is University at Albany versus Wayne State College. ECAC Overwatch is only in week 3, but UAlbany is proving to be a top dog in the standings after taking Wayne State College in a 3-0 fashion. Wayne State was barely able to get a point until map 3, but the fast-paced playstyle of UAlbany was too much for them. A lot of Genjis can be 50-50 in playstyle, but not Ski's Genji, as he was able to secure several team kills with the usage of his ultimate Dragon Blade. The season is already halfway done, but the question still has to be asked: who can defeat University at Albany? Next up is Rocket League, King University versus Wayne State College. Wayne State has proven that they are one of the top contenders when it comes to Rocket League as well this semester, maintaining their undefeated record in dominant fashion. Unfortunately, Icy, one of their main players, was not able to play today, but his substitute, Bad News, was making a lot of shots on Keen's goals and supporting his teammates, Amatsugashi and Flush. Speaking of Amatsugashi, this player was one of the front runners for scoring goals and maintaining the ball on Keen's side of the field. We have to wait to see if Wayne State College can keep up the undefeated streak, or will their aggression be their downfall for the remainder of the season. Now over to the Esports U Campus Cup featuring Fortnite East Region Heat number 3. With an adjusted tournament style, we saw a 5-round point of interest battle between 3 different teams, all of them duking it out for the highest amount of eliminations by the end of the game. With an exciting set of rounds, we saw a new champion rise to the top again, with Big Riv and Tiki claiming names at each and every POI we ended up at. We ended the night with just 1 kill separating first place and the other 2 teams, and Big Riv and Tiki held on to the lead they had from the first round and on, dominating East week number 3. Now over to the Great Lakes Esports Conference for some week 9 coverage, starting with Valorant, Mount Vernon Nazarene University versus Baldwin Wallace University. A statement series coming out from Mount Vernon Nazarene University to cement themselves in the top half of the standings of the GLEC. From the get-go, the MV squad was very aggressive on the attacking side, especially with half of their team getting really great flanks. Once the sides flipped, MVNU's defense was also solid from player Nami, with the operator, or his tour de force, was a force itself to be reckoned with. Time will only tell if this 5th seed can make it onto the GLEC top 4. Now let's head over to the NJC AAE for their week 4 coverage of Valorant, Suffolk Community College versus Westchester Community College. 2 undefeated teams met in the 4th round, and both juggernauts went the distance to prove they deserve the top spot in the NJC AAE. Westchester came out swinging on Fracture by unleashing Sopa and Fresh Prince on the iconic Fade and Breach duo that shook Suffolk. Just like his namesake, Nar and Suffolk Community College transformed on map 2 and challenged Westchester's aggression, taking the series to match point. Bind. Fun fact: Suffolk ran the same comp on all 3 maps, which showed that the determination, practice, and comfort can defeat even the hardest of opponents. Thank you so much, Katie. Like always, I'm Paulie Hype, and I'm here with the biggest, best, and newest collegiate esports divisions, standings, and matchups. Let's get right into it.
All right, guys, I'm here with Imminent, a player from the University of Oregon. And first off, I want to say congratulations on a big dub tonight. You know, like, you guys look great. And, you guys swept University of Carolina. How did you guys feel after that game?
That was definitely our hardest match, besides Northwood, I would say, in this league. We didn't expect them to be that solid. They were pretty good. I was a little nervous there in some parts of those games, but Yeah, I think it went pretty well. Yeah, we were feeling really good. I think we're just playing really solid today. We got a CRL match later tonight, and we're just trying to get ready for that. So we've been scrimming a lot, at least today, and a few times this week. So yeah, we felt pretty good.
Yeah, all is well there, and that first game went into overtime. At some point, did you ever doubt that you guys were gonna win, or were you that confident?
No, I mean I was pretty confident. I was only a little nervous when we were down by one, like pretty easily. But I mean, those were just I think it was just like kickoff goals that they scored. I'm trying to
Mhm.
remember at least in one of those games. So I was pretty confident. We were playing really well. I think when we're playing that solid and we're definitely pretty clutch. I mean, we always like in Zero, yeah, we reverse sweep our matches and we've won like 4 or 5 out of 6 game fives. So I think yeah, I was pretty confident.
Yeah, that's good. In the second game, they score a kickoff goal in like the first few seconds. Like, how do you guys manage to keep calm during the entire game and like climb
Uh,
back from that deficit?
yeah, I mean, you always have, you have the rest of the game, right? So it's only, I mean, it's fine. It happens a lot. It happens too much where we get kickoff goal or people score kickoff goals on us. We need to fix that. So we're working on it. But you have the rest of the game, and it's not, we just just say on the lock in, we're all good. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to say congratulations on a big dub tonight, and looking forward to see you guys play in the next week or the weeks after that.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Yep.
you.
Hey there, esports fans. I'm Katie Scott, and I am so excited to be here in the ESTV Esports TV studio with special guest Brock Barron. How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Happy to be here. Been watching what you and Polly have been doing. Now I get to be part of it. This is great.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here with us today. So tell us, you've had an amazing career in the NFL, commentating, and also in esports. What led you down this path?
It was honestly inevitable. What I always tell people is in any locker room, no matter what sport, when you're not watching film, when you're not lifting, when you're not training, you're just playing video games. That's all guys do, especially on the road when you're in a hotel. If you have a game the next day, you can't, go out and run around the town or anything. So guys just play video games. So when the playing days were over, me and my brother, we've always been playing games from when we were kids. The opportunity came along to start a network, and it was a no-brainer.
So what do you see the biggest difference between esports and NFL?
The craziest thing is it's just competition at the end of the day. Do you want to win or not? And how badly do you want to win? Now, is it less physical than hockey or basketball or football? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's competition. And the training that these guys put in, the focus that these women put in, it is incredible, and it is just like any traditional sport. And I also feel that's why traditional athletes naturally gravitate to esports when they're done. You still get the same rush, you're just less sore the next day.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the esports industry is looking so bright. I know that we've reported on a ton of stories and opportunities for students, women. So, what do you see the foreseeable future looks like for the esports industry?
It's going to keep growing. Right now, it's a normal thing for kids to get scholarships. You see how much prize money is out there for professionals. You got kids traveling the world, and it's only going to continue growing. If you look at any traditional sport, it's kind of hard to compare. The only thing you can compare to is the Olympics because there's so many different games. Now, are some games bigger than others? Sure. Are some games more social and entertainment than actual competition? Sure. But at the end of the day, the only thing I can compare it to is the Olympics because it's so diverse.
Absolutely. I mean, the competitions get so intense. I know the League of Legends competitions, they're insane. They're insane to watch. So, Brock, tell us a little bit. I know you play a little bit yourself. Tell us what you like to play.
I always say I play everything, but I'm good at one thing, and that's Warzone. But Madden, 2K, NHL, any sports game, I grew up playing much more than just football. I grew up playing everything, so there's always that want to play those games. But it's all about Warzone for me. When I get home from work, I'm hitting the group chat. It's all about Warzone. FIFA as well. My brother likes to say he's the best FIFA player. It's me, and there's no denying that.
I mean, the community for the esports industry is awesome, and I know it's so fun to just hop on and just play against different people from all around the world.
It's the coolest thing. What the internet and esports combine, those two things, all I hear is I can compete against anyone at any time.
Yep, the opportunities are awesome in esports. Brock, thank you so much for joining us. Where can everyone follow you and watch you play?
Sure, at Brock Vereen or on ESTV. Thankfully, we have great partners such as you and Paulie, who let me come on every now and then. But at Brock Vereen, and make sure to check out ESTV.
Thanks so much. To start off the news segment with a more relaxing and tropical vibe, the University of Hawaii at Manoa Valorant's esports team earned its first international title less than a year after winning its first college competition. Winning the Collegiate Valorant Fall Brawl back in 2021, it marked the program's first collegiate tournament victory and brought together academics and industry leaders to talk about politics, difficulties, and prospects for the growth of esports in higher education. Earlier this year, UH Manoa was accepted into the Association of Pacific Rim Universities, joining over 60 colleges throughout the Pacific area, encompassing North America, Asia, Oceania, and South America. Back in August of 2022, UH Manoa won the APRU Rampage Invitational Tournament, taking down 7 teams from the Asian Pacific region, including the University of California, University of Hong Kong Space, and Universidad de Chile, winning a prize of $1,000, a first-place trophy, and Adidas team jerseys valued up to $2,000. Lurking in every corner and taking more and more territory, esports is now an officially sanctioned sport under the Colorado High School Activities Association, with classrooms across the state of Colorado serving as competitive battlefields for esports. One of the members' favorite parts of esports is the low entrance barrier and inexpensive expense of forming a team. But just like any other sport and activities, esports has tryouts and eligibility requirements, such as students not being allowed to have more than 2Ds or below to play esports at school. CHSAA Association Commissioner Davis said students are showing their ability to strategize, work as a team, and communicate effectively. Strategy before a game can last for hours in some cases, sometimes including scouting other schools and teams to analyze their strengths and weaknesses. Esports players are also breaking down stereotypes and myths, with women having the same training and opportunities down to the battlefield, and everyone exploring that idea of big money careers for some students. More than 160 students at CCHS are active in esports in some form. So far, more than 100 Colorado high schools have established esports programs, and the number keeps growing. Esports never sleeps. Last October 24th, the online video gaming company Gamer Saloon announced the relaunch of its competitive esports team, Dot City Gaming. Founded in 2017, DCG made its mission to focus on sports titles with over 2 million followers. It is becoming one of the target sports game opportunities at a global scale, featuring some of the top Madden players in North America and having competed at the highest level in the game. Gamer Saloon is one of the world's largest PvP gaming platforms where gamers can win cash prizes in titles such as Madden 23, FIFA 23, NBA 2K23, and NHL 23. The platform boasts over 1.5 million users and has paid out over $90 million since inception. Gamer Saloon plans to relaunch the team with a mission to focus on the crossover demographics of traditional sports fans and sports gamers. The new DCG roster will feature competitors and content creators from Madden, FIFA, NHL, NBA 2K, and iRacing communities, backed by some of the biggest sponsors in the sports and entertainment world, all to be unveiled over the next few weeks. Working down to the bone, Loyola Marymount University is well known for its athletic programs, but recently it has expanded into esports as well, mostly consisting of developer-sponsored leagues, meaning that they are either directly sponsored or approved by the creators of the games. We have West Coast Conference, which has partnered with Collegiate Star League to help establish an official framework for collegiate sports. This schedule of practice and framework has given LMU students a platform to showcase their skills on a national level. While still being attached to LMU Esports, their teams would also fall under the umbrella of club sports at LMU. With their success, LMU recognizes the organization's esports and still relatively unfamiliar to many and can sometimes be intimidating even for the most seasoned gamers. The club's members have shown the best of esports, both in and out of competition, especially with its ever-growing social section of the club, and they're looking forward to their WCC title defenses this year. Get excited, the general public gets to view Butler's new esports park. Hoping it will be a big draw for gamers all around, the new park was unveiled to the public last Thursday, the 20th, to the community, being the first of its kind on an Indianapolis campus and giving students opportunities to game and learn. Inside Butler's Esports Park, one of the university's varsity teams took the stage playing Rocket League the night of the 19th, when they faced off against UConn. The university has been growing its esports footprint for years, currently having 12 esports teams, including the 2 varsity esports team in Rocket League and League of Legends. This past spring, Butler graduated its first student with an esports communications minor. Many students on campus that are drawn in want to learn how they can broadcast esports matches, produce shows, and direct gaming professionally. And at the new facility, there's room not just for students and gamers, but for people in the community, including gamers and prospective students who want to come out and watch matches or play. Who says you need a whole park to do good at your championship? Nishil Shah, who plays Valorant competitively as part of Old Dominion University, persevered through a medical emergency to participate in a scheduled match last October 22nd. While laying in his hospital bed, according to Shaw, the team that they were supposed to face did not want to reschedule despite Shaw's hospitalization. Shaw then told the team that he would participate in the game from his hospital bed, despite battling pancreatitis. Twitter's pictures depict the sick player using the movable food tray for the hospital bed to hold his sister's laptop and mouse, with various hospital equipment all coming out from it. Notably running the game around 60 frames per second while experiencing massive pocket lag, though, to the hospital's internet connection. The Old Dominion University team still decimated the enemies, winning the match 2-0. Did you dress up as your dream job for Halloween? As a kid, Brandon Tashasher knew he liked playing video games. He attended UW Milwaukee, and growing up in Jefferson, Tashasher was a long jumper who also collected and played games like Mario Kart and Ragger. Tashasher decided that he wanted to grow and develop Milwaukee's esports community and founded the Milwaukee chapter of Echelon, a volunteer organization that's part of the Salvation Army. In 2016, Tashasher brought an esports model to Milwaukee by creating the Milwaukee Esports Alliance in November of 2020. Inspired and close by cities with working esports plans. However, Tashasher says the Alliance doesn't plan to hold major events for now, instead focusing on scholarships, connections, and backing to esports teams and colleges, which allow the expansion of the sports community and give more communities for Milwaukee esports groups like Marquette University's team and Wisconsin's leading esports teams. Bucks Gaming is the only professional esports team in all of Wisconsin, founded by Patrick Glavowski in 2016, to further build esports in Milwaukee and beyond. Tashasher is lobbying legislators to pass a bill creating state grants for high schools to launch or expand their careers in esports. The bill had several Democratic sponsors, including Representatives Tip McGuire of Kenosha and Kalan Haywood of Milwaukee, and a single Republican sponsor, Rep. Robert Cowles of Aloes. But it didn't gain traction this session. Tashasher and his teams are also working with the Wisconsin Center to ensure the convention center's $400 million expansion that it allows for use of an esports facility. Last October the 27th, Bragg House announced its plans to bring competitive non-professional college esports to Southern California in partnership with Coca-Cola and McDonald's of Southern California. The Bragg House is the premier esports platform for the more laid-back college gamer and fan, where they can compete in a safe online community. The in-person event will take place at the Chick Earn Court in front of LA Live, kicking off on Saturday, November the 5th, opening its doors at 2 p.m. PST and will continue until 8 p.m. PST. The SoCal FIFA 23 tournament consists of 8 30-minute FIFA 23 exhibition tournaments, with the 3 participants from Southern California colleges competing in each. The prizes range from $50 to $100 per tournament, as well as spectator raffles and giveaways provided by Bragg House, Coca-Cola, and McDonald's, which include 2 Xbox Series S bundles and McDonald's Arch cards, among other brand merchandise. Following the November 5th event, there will be over 6 consecutive days of competition ending on Sunday, November the 13th, including the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals. The entire tournament will be streamed online on Bragg House's platform, from their mobile app on iOS and Android to their website bragghouse.com, as well as their Twitter and YouTube channels. A lot of things to celebrate this time of year. Leading global provider of visual and edtech solutions, ViewSonic, celebrates its 35th anniversary and announces its latest strategy. Founded in California around 1987, the business initially produced monitors, later expanding to other product lines and archived tremendous success in corporate, consumer, and education segments. The concept of the ecosystem as a service is to include the stakeholders within the industry in the process of solution development and to create new services together. Starting with the education sector, it partnered with government schools and education institutes to launch a series of training and certification programs to improve teachers' digital teaching ability. During the pandemic, ViewSonic offered My View Board for free for K-12 colleges and universities, supporting online teaching and learning during the school closures. To resolve issues limited by lack of interaction, ViewSonic elevated the digital learning experience from a 2D educational environment to an immersive 3D environment. Though the introduction of Universe by ViewSonic, a metaverse for education educators and students can teach and learn as if they were in the real classroom. A lot of tricks in the esports sector, among with its fair share of treats. Last Friday, the 21st, a $10,000 grant from Pilot Travel Centers was announced by district officials, which will help the Joplin School District develop its new esports teams and upgrade technology for students in media classes. The esports teams allow local students to compete in the growing athletic field for the first time, with more than $20 million in annual esports scholarships estimated to be available for high school and college students. The grant also will go towards the replacement of the network-attached storage system at Joplin High School, with a newer system and more volume, drive-based space, and upgraded hardware to increase storage capacity. For the foreseeable future, nearly 220 students from JHS and Franklin Technology Center, including those in classes for TV and audio production, yearbook, newspaper, and graphic design, use the system each year. The system also is used to archive athletic film for multiple sports programs. A Call of Duty Esports League for university students in the UK will kick off on November the 8th of 2022. The University Call of Duty League, set up by students and supported by university esports body NSE, will focus on the new version of Modern Warfare 2, which comes out later this month. Participants can either sign up as a complete team or with fewer members to be matched with other students in the region in order to form a roster of 4. Sign-ups are now open. Connie Albury is one of the 3 students from the University of Chichester who is behind the league's production and weekly streams. Connie also has experience as a host, having hosted the Challenger Cup, University of Chichester's first student-run CSGO esports event. He said he's reached out to London Royal Ravens MDODEE to see if a link can be made between the higher-end UK COD and the university level. For my last article of today, health is wealth. New York Institute of Technology Center for Esports Medicine announced last 18th of October a research collaboration with GE Healthcare. With up to 10 hours of practice per day and around 600 action moves per minute, these repetitive arm movements can set the stage for overuse injuries. New York's Tech Center for Esports Medicine will leverage GE Healthcare's Lunar IDXA device with Encore V18 software to perform the total body analysis of gamers' fat, muscle, and bone, as well as an in-depth analysis of regions of interest, including the forearms. The center's researchers will use the collected data to propose sports-wide body composition benchmarks and respective injury prevention guidelines. Study group will include 3D college-age competitive gamers and a control group of 30 non-gamers, controlled for sex, age, and body mass. Esports body composition benchmarks could help to inform injury prevention standards for populations with similar occupational hazards, including military drone operators who are also at risk for this wrist overuse injury. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's College Esports Now. I'm Katie Scott, and we'll see you next time.